I'm at Summers County High School, joined by Lady Bobcat senior guards Brittany and Whitney Justice, our 2017 WOAY Girls Basketball Players of the Year. Ladies, congrats on a great season and congrats on being our Girls Basketball Players of the Year for 2017.
Thank you.
Thank you guys for picking us.
Let's go back to the start of the season beforehand. A lot of anticipation, having made it to the Class AA state quarterfinals in 2016. This year, what was kind of the main expectation, largely with, including the fact that you guys were now in Class A coming into this season?
Our goal was the same last year as competing in AA, and now in A. We just want to make it back to the state tournament, and we achieved that goal.
Yeah, I agree. We wanted to get back to the state tournament, and we fell a little short, but we still had a good season.
Yeah, and there was a lot of anticipation coming into the season again. The fact that Wayne Ryan, your longtime head coach, had resigned to take his position as assistant executive director of the SSAC. So it was a first-year head coach in Sarah Blevins taking charge of the program. But you already knew Sarah. She was an assistant. She was a former Summers County player. How much did that affect, how comfortable you were with her coming into this season?
It wasn't, much affected. The thing is the same thing, and she learned from a great coach, and she takes up after him well.
Yeah, I thought she did a really good job, and she was probably a little nervous at first, because it's a big shoe to fill, but I think she done a good job.
The fact that she was not that far removed from her playing days here at Summers County, was that able to make it relate a bit easier as opposed to someone who may have graduated maybe 20 or 30 years ago and hasn't? It would have been a longer time since they have played high school ball, or what did you think about that?
Yeah, I think it helped a lot where she's used to the game and she knows a lot about it, so she could refer that to us too.
Yeah, she knew the game, and she would practice against us, so it would always help us out. She'd be the main player for the other team, and she could do everything that they done to help us out.
And then you guys got into the regular season. A couple tough results with games against Cabell, Midland, and Bluefield, but really, like you were saying, you guys were able to pick up almost right where you left off last year. At what point in the early games did you really start to feel this could be the start of something special, and it could be the start of a deep run in the postseason?
After losing to both of those teams, they were great teams, and it helped us and more or less hurt us, and we just went from there and worked on the things we needed to.
After we lost to Bluefield, it kind of showed us what we needed to do, and we weren't as good as we thought we were. That we had to play every game we were going to lose.
But you were able to right the ship quickly after those two losses, and especially one of the big games for you was on Martin Luther King Day when you went up to Fairmont and you were able to take on the defending Class A state champion Gilmer County, but you were able to get the win over the Lady Titans. How would you describe that atmosphere, first off, on a neutral court against a team that came in as the defending state champions? Just like you, they returned a lot of talent from 2016, and getting to play them on the neutral court and get the win against them.
They were a great team, and when two good teams play, somebody has to win, and it could have been either one of us either day, and it was a good game.
Yeah, I thought they were a really good team, and I think it kind of made a statement for us beating the defending state champs, so I thought it was a good win.
Absolutely, and that momentum was able to continue. A lot of personal accolades for the two of you. You were able to, you had already surpassed 1,000 career points as juniors, but now you were able to become the leading scorers in Summers County High School history, and you were able to do that with several games to spare in the regular season. The fact that both of you were able to achieve that mark, and for a time you two were pretty much neck and neck at the same career point, how special was that to know that you were able to achieve that together as two instead of just one or the other?
Yeah, it was very special. It's just kind of neat where Hallie was a twin, and we're twins, and she was a great player, and it's a blessing to be able to outscore her. And
yeah, I thought it was pretty crazy that we beat the school record, because thinking back and we watched Hallie play, she was really good, and it's crazy to think that one of us broke her school record, or both of us.
Absolutely, and that momentum carried well into one of the final games of the regular season. You were hosting Bluefield. You were able to get the win. Kind of a little bit of redemption for that loss to the Lady Beavers earlier in the season. But then you get into postseason play. You have very strong performances in both of the sectional games against Montcalm and Meadowbridge, and then the regional win against Fayetteville. How would you describe that atmosphere of going to Princeton and competing well in sectionals to the point where it was a very dominant performance against both the Lady Generals and the Lady Wildcats?
Yeah, they were both hard games, and we just want to take it game by game, and we knew what our ultimate goal was, and we weren't going to let anybody get in our way.
Yeah, I agree. We just took it game by game, and as long as we won, then we just wanted to keep moving on.
And then the game against Fayetteville, a very interesting matchup as well, because it was pairing the two of you and the pace of play that you guys like to play with against Fayetteville. They have a lot of pride in, post players with Kendall Millay and Caroline Fenton. How was that in terms of setting the tone in the first quarter and how that relayed throughout the rest of the game?
We knew if we could get off to a good start, then we were in control of the game, and that's what we wanted to do.
Yeah, we wanted to get the game fast and win every quarter, and that's what we did.
Yeah, and that meant Summers County would go on to receive the #1 seed in Class Single A. They had a quarterfinal matchup with Charleston Catholic, Region 3 versus Region 3. You had already played the Lady Irish twice and won both of those outings in the regular season. But the quarterfinal matchup was very different from what you experienced in the sectional, the sectional and the regional games, because it was much more slower pace, the 42-35, the final score. Were you, in the immediate moments after that game, what was the feeling in terms of how that game went? Because it was such a contrast to how the previous 3 games had gone.
Yeah, no, Charleston Catholic is such a good team, and they never quit, and their defense is just tremendous, and they kept us the low score, and that's what they wanted, but we got out for the win.
It's kind of hard to play fast against them because they are fast, and they kind of slowed it down and they packed it in, and they had a good game plan. They're a really good team.
And that's a semifinal with St. Joseph Central, a very tough game. The Lady Bobcats were able to get out to a big lead, but looking back on it, it was just not an easy thing to deal with. A lot of the size they had in the post with Taisha Taylor, and Dina Geralds was able to make a lot of plays as well. What do you think, several weeks removed from that game, was one of the big things in that game that led to St. Joe's winning?
They were a good team all around. They didn't really have a weak link on their team, and that hurt us a lot, but it is what it is.
They were a really good team, and our game plan was not – they were a good shooting team, like perimeter, and we stopped them. They only had 4 threes, and then the big girl kind of hurt us inside. So, we stopped one thing, and they're a good team, so they have other things they can do.
And St. Joe's would go on to win the Class Single A championship. They won in the championship game over Williamstown, but even though the season ended in the state semifinals, it doesn't take away from the spectacular senior season you had and the great group of girls, a lot of whom, again, not just you two, but Tiffany Klein, Morgan Miller, Hannah Taylor, they all came back and really put together a successful season and something that you can be proud of. Would you say that?
Oh, yeah, for sure. I wouldn't regret anything. We had a good season, and, we're a close team, and we all enjoyed it and had a good time.
Yeah, I enjoyed playing with every one of them. And we've been playing forever, so it was fun, and we had a good time.
Now this is the fun segment of the interview where we get to ask a couple fun questions, more not exactly season related, but first off, we've been talking around the last few months. Just curious, what's your favorite pregame meal? Is there a favorite pregame meal you like to eat beforehand?
Oh yeah, shrimp, onions, and peppers.
Shrimp, onions, and peppers.
I'd probably have to go with chicken Alfredo or wings from Pizza Hut.
Very nice. Is that something that the entire team enjoys eating, or is that solely just the two of your personal preferences?
Yeah. More individual.
The one team,
probably.
we all everybody loves Dunkin' Donuts iced coffees, so that's a kind of a thing for our team. So they get a coffee from there.
Are you big believers in post-game meals, or not really? You don't stick to anything post-game?
No, not really.
Not
Just
really.
if I'm hungry.
Yeah, just a candy bar.
What's it like in terms of, the emotions after a game in general? The emotions just exhausted from having played hard on the court for, in all likelihood, you two would play all 32 minutes if possible. What is kind of the emotions going through as you're going through the handshake line and then headed back to the locker room after a game?
It's relieving, We always want to win, and once we do, it's just like a weight off of your shoulder. You just want to get it done.
Yeah, it seems like after you win, then that gives you a little more energy so we can go eat or have fun or something.
Yeah. How about, do either of you have a favorite pregame song that you like to listen to as you're coming out on the floor for warm-ups or before you enter the locker room to get ready for warm-ups?
I thought our warm-up song was pretty good. It was Chill Bill. That kind of got us excited, but Hannah played all the music.
Yeah, we leave the music part to Hannah.
Yeah.
She takes
She's
care of the
our
music.
Yeah.
Would you say she did a very good job selecting the music? Then?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It was loud. And she played good music.
Absolutely. You've been playing basketball for such a long period of time. Just curious, did one of you get hooked onto basketball first and then convince the other, or was it a situation of both of you getting excited about basketball pretty early on and just, that interest just skyrocketed?
It was both.
Yeah, I'm not really sure how it started, but
I'm not either.
yeah, we just kind of started playing and
Yeah.
liked it. We both liked it.
And then you both compete in softball here for Summers County as well. Would you say that was kind of same situation, both interested at the same time, or one and convincing the other?
Yeah, we both played. My older sister actually started, and then we kind of just picked up on it, throwing out in the yard with her, and then got into liking it too, so we just started playing.
And with softball season, starting right now, what's been the biggest challenge in terms of transitioning from basketball season to softball season? Because it's not an easy transition. First of all, going from playing in the gym where it's going to be the same temperature every single game, as opposed to, the wild temperatures that we can encounter here in Southern West Virginia from day to day whenever you play games.
Yeah, it's a huge change. I hate going outside in the cold, especially to play softball. I haven't threw a ball since last year.
Yeah, it's kind of different. We play basketball all year round, and then we come to softball season, and it's like completely different. But I like playing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the basketball careers for both ladies will continue into the fall when they compete for Coach Jenna Everhart and the WVU Tech Lady Golden Bears. They signed their letters of intent just a couple weeks ago, and since that time when you signed your letters of intent, how have the emotions been in terms of you're able to have made your decision and you don't have to worry about that anymore for the rest of your time in high school?
It's more relaxed, and it's not as much pressure as on me as I was, and I'm happy with the decision I made, and I'm looking forward to it.
It was kind of a big relief. Like every day we were like, where we're gonna go or who we're gonna go play for, and after we'd done it, just glad that we did.
There was never any doubt that the two of you would go to the same school. It was never a question of going to different schools.
For a little bit, we said it, but we wouldn't have done it.
Yeah.
So.
For a little while, like she liked this one more, and then I liked that one more, but then we ended up the same place. So I think it was a good decision.
Well, we definitely wish them the best of luck next fall at WVU Tech and in the coming years as they begin their careers with the Lady Golden Bears. Ladies, thank you for joining us. Again, congratulations on great seasons, and congratulations on being our Girls Basketball Players of the Year.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you guys for having us.